Every single highly successful and effective person does this. They all understand this one thing and they do it and they implement it, and it seems so stupidly simple that it won't make a difference if you do it, but I promise you it will change your life. It will absolutely change your life if you start to do this. And that is to basically to add clarity to your life by breaking down what it is that you're doing into smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller chunks, all the way down to its simplest form, to its atomic level, right? So simple that even a third grader could complete the task or could at least understand what needs to be done. And the reason this is so important is because this is the reason why so many people procrastinate or why we fall behind. And I realized this in just in my workouts, because I made it a goal for me to complete my workout in an hour, and I could never do it. And I didn't understand. I was like, I set the goal there, right? I set the goal. That's the first step, right? Everybody tells you, you need to have a goal. You need to have a vision. And I was like, I made the goal. I wrote it down to complete my workout in an hour. But why is it that I'm always going over? And sometimes I get to like 2 hours and I'm like, what's going on here? Well, what's going on is I didn't break it down. So I knew what I was going to do that day, right? I have all my workouts written out. I'm going to do this many sets and this many reps of this, and I need this much time of rest. So what I didn't do was take all of that and divide it up by an hour. So if I have four exercises, then I should have divided that. Okay, how much can I spend on each? And divided that, within 60 minutes. And then, therefore, I would have seen, okay, I need this much time to complete this task. Most of us don't do that. What most of us do is we say, okay, I'll give myself a week to do this. And then that's as far as we ever go. Or I'll give myself 2 days to do it. You get the point. I have a month to do this, a week to do this, whatever. And that's as far as we ever go. We never break down the task even further than that and say, okay, well, if I have this, and this, and this, and this to do, then if I divide that by the time that I have allotted myself, then how much time do I have to spend on each thing? And by doing that, it adds so much clarity, and it also adds pressure, and it just makes you realize whether are you on track or are you falling behind. Because what happens, like just in the workout example, what happens is I think to myself, oh, I have an hour to do this workout. I have plenty of time. So what I'll do is I'll do my workout, and then I'll sit down, I'll scroll on my phone to try to find a good song to work out to. I'm scrolling and scrolling, then I might pull up Instagram. I'm scrolling and I think I'm not wasting time because I think, oh, this is a part of my rest time. But I'm not even watching the clock or anything. And then I'm like, okay, I feel rested, another set. And then I go back to either scrolling, looking for a different song, yada, yada. You get the point. I didn't break down the time that I needed to do so that way I can know I'm on track or not. And little by little, I'm falling behind, and I don't even know it because I feel like I'm staying on track. But little by little, I'm falling behind, and then soon a little bit becomes like a lot. Like I said, I'll be going over like 2 hours. And this is a minute case. But what happens whenever you have something that you tell yourself, oh, I'll give myself a year to do this. And if you do not break that down any further and say, okay, if I give myself a year, that means in a month I need to accomplish this, which means in a week I need to accomplish this, which means in a day I need to accomplish this much. If you don't break it down to the level of even down to a minute of what you need to do, or at least 15 minutes of what you need to do in that day, you're gonna fall behind. And so a year of what you thought you could have accomplished in a year may take you 2 years. It may take you longer. And the thing is, when you fall behind, it is so hard to catch up. Because let's say you made it a goal to read 1 page of a book a day. And let's say you went 15 days that you didn't, let's say you got a 50% completion rate. So in a month, you followed your goal, but the rest of half the month you didn't. And if you try to catch up, that means in 1 day, you're gonna have to read 15 pages. And you're just gonna feel so bogged down and so behind. And that's just a small example, right? Of how easy it is and how bad it is if you fall behind, how hard it is to dig yourself out of there. But even then, let's look at the flip side. If you do break down your task all the way down to what you need to do in the minute, what you realize is you will become so much more efficient and so much more effective that you will actually free up so much more space, and you'll have so much more free time to do other things. And so for the workout example, I may free up, maybe 10, 15 minutes a day. And that's just for one task. But if you do this for all of your tasks, for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in your life, over the course of a year, you will have literally freed up days and weeks of your time. And then you can take that time and you can invest it in other areas of your life, in skill development, in learning new skills, reading more books, doing more activities, spending time with your family, whatever it is, you can then reinvest that time, and then you will get more back. And then what you get more back of, you can then reinvest it even more. And it's going to compound onto itself, and you can see how powerful this is now. So, no longer should you ever, you need to get very specific. You should never just tell yourself, oh, I'll give myself a year, I'll give myself a month, whatever. You need to break it down to maybe not like the minute, maybe not the second, but at least like a half hour, 15 minutes. And it depends on the task that you're doing. Each task will take, different amounts of time. But even an hour, you can see now that you think that breaking something down to an hour is like enough, but it's not. You need to break it down even further than that. And then not just the time, but the task itself should be broken down to, like I said, to the simplest form of what you need to do in a given moment.